angry, and I'm trying to, get myself calm because I'm fidgety, angry, and a little bit, scared about having to deal with this situation. And in my head, I'm thinking I'm gonna, this guy's gonna apologize. I'm gonna forgive him. I'll accept whatever money he offers me, and that's what in my head is gonna happen. He doesn't look at my damage at all. He just starts walking back to his tractor, and this is where things got out of hand here. So when he told me that it's not his problem, I didn't think at all, and I just immediately hit him with a right hook, right in the jaw. I'm ready to just piece this guy up, because what are you gonna do? And but I think he saw me like square up with him, and the guy's dizzy, like he can barely walk, and he just starts pointing to his lip, and he's like stumbling as he stands there, and he's pointing to his lip, and he's bleeding out of his mouth. And he says, "What is this? What is this?" And I'm like, "You just hit my trailer. You just hit my trailer. Like, like you didn't. Like I'm just gonna let you like walk away." And it was about 9:30 p.m. I'm out on Interstate 10 near the border of New Mexico and Arizona. And I-10 is way down south. I think it's the southernmost interstate, and it kind of runs along the border with Mexico, through New Mexico and Arizona. I had just driven all day and night, heading west into California, and I'm driving a semi-truck, so I needed to find a place to park for the mandatory 10-hour rest period, because the government doesn't allow us to drive big trucks without mandated rest breaks. And that's pretty common all over the world. I knew the price for fuel was a bit cheaper in New Mexico, so I decided to stop right before I reached the Arizona border. I glanced down, put the truck stop into the GPS, and checked the distance so I don't miss the exit. It's illegal to do this in the U.S., but everyone does it. You have to do it. I found a place called Shady Grove Truck Stop and pulled into the parking lot. When I arrived, there was only a few places left to park, so I needed to quickly try and take the nearest open spot before more trucks come in and take all the spots. I found a spot and began orienting my truck and trailer to slowly back in. I began backing into the spot, and in an articulated vehicle, you got to steer with the wheels of the trailer, gently maneuver the tractor until everything is straight and lined up in the spot next to all the other trucks and out of the way. So while I'm trying to back into the spot, another truck came, and he starts trying to go in front of me, and I'm backing the trailer in, and this guy tries to go between me and the trucks in front of me, but there's not really enough room. So the person waiting, he came and he stopped, and I'm thinking he's waiting for me, but then he starts to go forward. So as I bring my truck around, it's going to put the front end further out, which is going to give him less room to go by. And I don't really know what he's trying to do, so I just stopped right there and let this guy, try to move around. And sometimes you'll see somebody doing something makes you nervous or whatever, but they know what they're doing. Like this guy, he starts going, trying to go in front of me. I don't think he has room. Maybe he has room, so just stop and wait and let him see what's going to happen. So just try to imagine this. I've got my trailer here with my truck like this, and I'm backing it, okay? And this guy's coming with his truck and his trailer like this coming around. And I know that, as he goes forward, he's running less and less room with this trailer without hitting me. And so as I'm backing in here, I just stop and wait. And I don't think he has room, but he starts to go. And I'm like, okay, there's not much I can do, but I have to wait, right? So this guy starts to come around, and boom, all of a sudden my truck is rocking around because his trailer hit the corner of my trailer. So my trailer is here, my truck is like this, and he's coming in front. His trailer hits the corner of my trailer, and that all transfers through the frame and is rocking the truck back and forth. And immediately I'm angry, and I'm trying to get myself calm because I'm fidgety, angry, and a little bit scared about having to deal with this situation. I'm a little bit nervous to make a YouTube video, so I wrote a script here, so just bear with me. I master my feelings, become friendly, come out of the truck, and try to be diplomatic, ready to accept his apology and see if he proposes any solution. Because usually if you hit somebody, you're gonna, the first thing you want to do if you hit somebody, like for anybody who's driving out there, you try to settle it right there. Like pay the person or whatever and make that person happy, and you don't want to have to go through insurance and all that stuff. Like, it's just problems on problems if you do that. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to offer some money, which I would inevitably give to my boss, because in that case I don't have my own truck and trailer. But and in my head I'm thinking I'm gonna, this guy's gonna apologize, I'm gonna forgive him, I'll accept whatever money he offers me, and that's what in my head is gonna happen. All right, so just like like with any collision, we both get out to go look at the damage, and this guy, he's like he looks like an Eastern European guy, like maybe Turkish or Ukrainian or something. And he spoke that way too, but he's dressed like a wigger, like he has like flat bill baseball cap and like kind of saggy clothes and stuff, and just kind of an odd looking guy. Not he wasn't overweight. He had like average height, average build, and we're both running flatbed, so like he didn't look weak or anything, but he gets out of his truck, walks around, and goes back and only looks at his damage. Okay, and I go out and I'm looking at my damage. Like the corner of my trailer is like, it's like it cracked open, it's kind of messed up looking. And he just looks at his damage, and I look at his damage, and he's just got like scrapes down the side of his rub rails on his flatbed. And he doesn't look at my damage at all. He just starts walking back to his tractor, and this is where things got out of hand here. So I tried to stop this guy, like talk to this guy. Like I tried to, say something to him, and he just completely ignores me, and he's looking straight forward, doesn't even look at me, and he says, "It's not my problem, not my problem." That's what he says to me. Okay. So when he told me that it's not his problem, I didn't think at all. And I just immediately hit him with a right hook, right in the jaw, okay? Not even thinking about it. And this guy immediately, he went flying back, hat flew off of his head and fell on the ground. he gets up off the ground and he starts coming towards me. And at this point, I wasn't facing directly at him, but he starts coming towards me, and so I just squared up with him, and I'm ready to just piece this guy up, because what are you gonna do? And but I think when he saw me square up with him, and the guy's dizzy, he can barely walk, and he just starts pointing to his lip, and he's stumbling as he stands there, and he's pointing to his lip, and he's bleeding out of his mouth, and he says, "What is this? What is this?" And I'm like, "You just hit my trailer. You just hit my trailer. You didn't." I'm just gonna let you walk away, and One thing that's funny about this is there's cameras recording. There's other drivers, there's cameras all over these trucks, there's cameras at the truck stops. Somebody out there has the footage, and I would love to see it if I could get my hands on it. All right, so this guy gets back in his truck. I got back in my truck, and I'm like, I punched him and stuff. I'm not really thinking about what happens next, but I'm just in my mind, it's over. The damage wasn't that bad to my trailer. It wasn't that bad to his trailer either. And that's the first time I've ever just punched somebody. I've never even really been in a fight, a fist fight, not with just some stranger just out of nowhere. And he gets back in his truck, and he completely leaves the truck stop. Okay, he doesn't even stay the night there, which is kind of a relief to me, because I'm not going to be dealing with this guy all night. So then I called my boss, and in my head, I'm kind of thinking my boss would be happy about it. And I tell my boss, because my boss is an Eastern European guy himself, and we're working in a relatively small trucking company, probably 10 trucks or so. And I tell him, "Hey boss, some guy hit the trailer, and I knocked him out, and then he left." And my boss says, no, you have to get his information, get his information for an insurance claim. But I'd never been hit before, and, I never dealt with it before, so. But my boss, later he told me, he said, you got to be careful, because, people could have a weapon or whatever, which, everybody knows that, but yeah, he was right. I got to be careful, because you never know what can happen. Somebody can come at you with a weapon or whatever. And, so yeah, that's the story. Sometimes a force more powerful than the conscious compels us to act. Okay, this is what I wrote in my cheesy script here. I will admit I have felt mostly positive emotions about the event, a little bit of guilt, but a good feeling of power and strength, and feeling proud of myself that I didn't let him treat me like that without any consequence. But as a principle, I don't condone violence in general. They say violence isn't the answer. Violence is the question, and the answer is yes, right? But I'm joking, but so yeah, that's all. This is my little YouTube story. I'm a little nervous to post it, but I've got a lot of crazy stories, and I just want to start sharing them, because I know that I've got stories that nobody else has. And so hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.